Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and BronxNet TV. Our next guest is the Executive Director of Woodlawn Conservancy. She joins us to speak about all of the services and recreational activities offered by Woodlawn. Please welcome to the show, Meg Ventrudo.
Thank you, Bob. It's great to be here.
Yes. Tell us about it. We're talking about Woodlawn, Woodlawn Cemetery and Conservancy, and its impact in our community. It has a rich history and landmark. Tell us about that.
So Woodlawn is an 1863 National Historic Landmark. It was founded during the Civil War, and it was really founded in the Bronx in a remarkable place because the newly formed Hudson River Rail line came up to the cemetery. So it was easily accessible to Manhattan to get to Woodlawn. And because of that, it became a cemetery for some quite notable Wall Street folks, some quite notable lawyers, and then as the cemetery evolved, for quite a few very notable entertainers, especially those jazz musicians and entertainers that came out of the Harlem Renaissance.
Yeah.
Our cemetery is located on Webster Avenue and Jerome Avenue, up in the North Bronx, and the 4 train stops on one side and the Metro North stops on the other. So it is quite easy to get to. And because of that, we see visitors from all over the world to visit some of the famous graves we have here, like Duke Ellington and Miles Davis, and all kinds of, Max Roach is also buried here. So many of the famous jazz musicians are buried here.
Yeah, yeah. And you said it goes way back to the Civil War?
It goes back to the Civil War. And actually we have remains of service people from every war dating back to the Revolutionary War. So some of those remains were buried, removed and then reinterred here at Woodlawn. Wow,
wow, yeah, a lot of history right there. Anything in that area that you can remember that dates way back along with the cemetery?
Admiral Farragut was originally buried here, and of course that's he was an admiral in the Navy during the Civil War years, and Farragut Circle in Washington, D.C. is named after him. And because of our connection to Admiral Farragut, we're also part of the Hispanic Heritage Trail of the National Park Service as well.
How do you fit into recreational activities? Tell us about that part.
So Woodlawn has over 17 miles of road, and we're open every day from 8:30 to 4:30. During this recent COVID crisis, we've seen a lot of folks from the neighborhood just walking our grounds, being able to be socially distant, enjoying nature. We are considered an urban forest with the amount of trees we have here on site. We do offer a calendar of events. We offer some walking tours, some trolley tours. Our numbers have been lower because of COVID, but we've still been able to have them. Being an outdoor site, it's a little bit easier to have some programming. We will have a walking tour actually this coming weekend. And usually on Saturdays and Sundays, there are events up here at Woodlawn.
Is that a part of the Bronx trolley tour? The Bronx trolley
we
tour
have our own trolley, and I am fairly new here, but I do believe at one point it was part of the Bronx trolley tour, and there have been some collaborative events with the folks that run that tour.
Then you have a preservation training program and landscape restoration program. Tell us about that. We do.
Yeah, one of our most important programs that we have here at the cemetery is called Bridge to Crafts Careers. And we work with young folks between the ages of 18 and 24, preparing them for careers in masonry, construction, historic preservation, and now we just added a landscape component. So it's a very intensive program, but the cemetery serves as an outdoor learning lab for these young people. You have to have a high school degree, either a GED or a high school diploma or an equivalency. And you take a test to get into the program. There's an interview. It's a screening program. And the young people are learning job skills and learning interview skills, as well as the hands-on work. So our masonry preservation program is starting up again in February. And our young people will learn how to set gravestones. They will learn how to clean mausoleums. They'll learn pointing and mortar and how to safely work on scaffolding. And so it's a really intense program, and it's combined with some academic learning where guest speakers come in and talk about the importance of historic preservation. And the cemetery is also benefiting because these young people are beautifying and already beautiful 1863 historic landmark. So it is a wonderful program. And we have a very successful placement rate, whether our young people are deciding that they want to go to college for further study or go on to jobs in either landscaping or masonry. It's really fantastic. The other thing that,
it's a place where they can get the practical experience and knowledge.
It is
and
definitely
also
a practical
academic knowledge. Yeah,
it is a practical experience, and this is the 6th year of the program for us, so we're very excited about it.
that's great. And you were, I'm sorry, you were mentioning that they can go into college and then come back and maybe work. There's job offerings.
So some folks go right into the workforce, and some kids say, well, maybe this isn't for me and I want to go back to school. We know with our landscape kids, Bronx Community College has a landscape restoration major. And some of them thought, oh, maybe I might want to do some more schooling in this field. So that's a great outcome too. We're happy wherever they land, and we encourage them. We work with The Door, which is a social services agency, and The Door helps with those interview skills and job placements. And so it's a very comprehensive program. And I think that's why it has such a high success rate.
Oh, Meg, you guys are doing a lot of things there. We didn't know. Thank you for
it's great.
bringing up the information. Yeah.
It is really great. Mm-hmm.
So people can find out more by going where?
So our website is woodlawn.org, and it just woodlawn.org. We are open every day, 8:30 to 4:30, and the grounds are open for walking. We have maps available that will take you to the historic grave sites, the notable architecture on the site. We are the largest collection of funerary art in the United States, and so just walking the grounds and seeing the beautiful sculpture, some by Daniel Chester French, and architecture by McKim Mead and White, and all of these names that are just so important to New York's built environment are all here at Woodlawn. So we're open to just enjoy the grounds, and you can visit our website at woodlawn.org.
You know, you know so much. You told me that you just started this, but you know so much about it. I forgot to ask you, how did they reach out to you, and how did you find out about this particular job or area?
I come from a museum background, and so this was in a museum background here in New York City. So it was just an opportunity to work in a different type of arts and cultural and historic preservation organization, and the collection of funerary art was something that was very appealing to me. And then to learn about all these wonderful workforce development programs and see kids getting involved in historic preservation, historic landscapes. This is not just, here guys, here's some rakes and you can clean up the cemetery. They were looking at historic planting plans and putting in new plantings around mausoleums. And sometimes in the fields, we don't talk about how we're educating the next generation of museum professionals or the next generation of historic preservation professionals. So yes, while we're training these young folks for jobs in masonry and construction, you know, they may remember that their first experience was working at a historic site and transfer that experience at some point in their careers.
Meg, thank you so much. It was very enlightening to be able to talk to you and find out more about Woodlawn.
Bob, thank you for having me, and please come visit Woodlawn.
Yes, okay. And give us a website one more time.
The website is www.woodlawn.org.
Thank you. Meg Ventrudo, Executive Director of Woodlawn Conservancy. We appreciate you. Thank you. God bless and stay safe.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right, we'll take a break right here. And coming up, well, Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports. You don't want to miss it. Stay right here. We'll be right back.